Good morning, Coach Tony here. I'm fully rested to tell you about the I Love Sleep module. I got a great night's sleep last night, went for a mountain bike ride, been hanging out with this stray dog. She doesn't have a name yet, but we can talk about that at the end of the video. Let me tell you a story about two students, me and one of my best friends. We both went to a magnet high school in San Francisco, which is that just draws in the middle school kids with the best grades. And she ended up with the highest GPA when we graduated, and I ended up fine. I got into college. That's all I really wanted at that time. And my approach to studying was to wait until the last minute. And you'd think the last minute is like the night before, but I would try to wait even later. I would say, well, I'm tired. Why don't I go to bed now and I'll just set an alarm for 4 a.m. and then I'll study then. So I'm like torturing myself, ruining my sleep, waking up in the middle of the night. Meanwhile, my friend, her name is Wanny, it's like Danny with a W, and I was talking to her recently, and she's kind of like annoyed with her husband. She's like, he wants to go to grad school, but but I don't think he's that serious about it. So I said, well, Wanny, why don't you think he's taking it seriously? And she said, well, school starts in 2 months and he still hasn't read the textbooks. Like, wait a second, Wanny, when we were in high school, were you reading the textbooks before the classes started? And she's like, obviously, you have to read them at some point. What kind of student were you? Did you read the textbooks in the middle? So I want to really point this out, that both of us did the same amount of work. She just did the work at a point in time when she would get more value from it. To tie this into sleep is that we make memories overnight. So the studying we do, that becomes permanent knowledge when we go to bed. So the way she studied, she built up long-term knowledge. And the way I studied, I built up short-term knowledge that was good enough to get me through the test, but then otherwise, like, poof, right out my head. The point of that story is to get at this concept that I like to give out of picking up the paycheck. If you do work, you want to get paid for it. My friend Wanny, she did the work in a way that let her pick up the paycheck. I did the work in a way that I barely got paid for it. And it's because I didn't take sleep seriously. So everything we do to train our bodies, physical and mental, that's work where we don't get paid off until we go to bed. That's why I'm greedy about sleep. That's why I say I love sleep. Talking to people behind the scenes about the principles of brain training that actually work. And on the one end, there's this sort of like area of brain games where it seems like you get paid pennies for your work. The academics that have studied it have really struggled to find that the brain games generalize. And then, further upstream, you get paid off well for meditation. Practically every study of meditation comes up with a new place where it generalizes for value for pain, for focus, for actually like MRI finds changes in your brain structures. And then you have sleep, where you literally get $100 bills for your effort. That it is when your brain takes the time to rewire yourself, or rewire itself. I guess you probably consider your brain to be part of yourself. Anyways, so of course sleeping should be part of any brain training program, and that's why it's part of Heavy Mental. The module this month, it's 4 weeks where we commit together to getting great sleep. It might mean that you have to say no to some things that you otherwise would have said yes to, but the benefit is that you're going to have more energy, more focus, you'll learn faster, everything that you're here for will go better. The secrets of sleep are not that complicated. For a lot of you, it's going to be something like put your computer down. turn the TV off, right? Like the habits, right? There's a lot of habits and environmental design that we do in this module. We do try to tackle the edge cases, people that have trouble sleeping. Can't always solve it, but I know a lot of people have trouble. They wake up in the night, or they have some sort of insomnia. So we're going to put you in the best position to get the best sleep possible. And then who I am, I'm Coach Tony. I always try to reintroduce myself because sometimes people join Coach.me but then don't necessarily know who runs it. I run it. I'm the head coach here, and Heavy Mental is my passion project. I love the idea of a place like a gym for your brain, a place where you could train your brain year-round the way an athlete would train your body. So in this module, it's 4 weeks. There's be a new focus each week. Every weekday, you'll get a new exercise. We do the exercises together as a group. The group creates accountability. The group brings the sort of wisdom of the crowds to it. I do it along with you because brain training is cool. I want to do it too. So I'm in there with you. And I think that's that for the intro to I Love Sleep, because I do. And I hope at the end you love it too. The challenge for me, what do we name this lovely dog? She's a 76-pound, maybe St. Bernard mix. Could be a lot bigger once, if she eats more. She definitely has room to fill out. And a lot of you know, I'm on my trip, van trip around the US. One of my goals for this trip was to say yes, and I ran into this stray. It's one of the sweetest dogs I've ever met. I thought, we have room for one more dog in our life. Let me say yes. Not 100% sure. I'm telling people right now I'm fostering her. Took her to the vet yesterday to get shots and health checkup, but she doesn't have a name. So we like crazy names in our household. Our current dog is named Eggs, and she needs an equally creative name. So if you have any creative dog names, let me know. I definitely need the help.